Do you feel like you've lost your way, or maybe your internal compass has suddenly gone kaput? Then you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to go over what's more than likely happening and how to fix it in 5 steps. And stay till the end because I'm going to make another bonus suggestion too. This feeling of being completely lost or not knowing which direction is up, more or less, or not feeling like ourselves, it can be caused by many things. It could happen slowly over from a lot of little things over time, or it can even be seemingly precipitated by a bad breakup or loss of a loved one, which is similar to a breakup because that's a loss. It can be a loss of your job, or it can be many, many things. But the bottom line is, it doesn't really matter what caused it. The bottom line is fixing it, right? Isn't that the first thing that you want to do, is let's just get the show on the road and fix the problem? So first of all, everyone's different, but my personal experience, and it's happened to me several times over the years, when I feel so lost like that, it's because I've lost my connection to my true self, to my inner self, or I call it the higher self, your intuition you could call it. But you've lost that guiding North Star. And that's what you really want to regain, is your connection to that. So the first thing, and I say this in a lot of my videos, is set your intention. That's the number one thing. You are telling the universe you want the universe's guidance. You want to be in touch with your intuition. You want their help. You want God's help. Ultimately, call it the universe, call it the pure awareness, whatever you want to call that, divine love beingness, whatever you want to label it. You want to be in touch with that, because that will never steer you wrong. And that is the way to feel like your true self. So first and foremost, set your intention to do what it takes to get back in connection with your intuition. You're telling the universe what you want. The universe will help you. Ask for help. I pray, I ask for help, and then I let it go. I give it over to the universe, to God. So set your intention, numero uno. The second thing is, I believe, especially when the mind takes over and we get a little, feeling lost, can feel a little frantic, or can feel confusing. Whenever any kind of energy like that slips into my space, then the second thing I do after intention is the grounding meditation, some sort of grounding. And at the end of this video and down below in the description, I'm going to put the link to my grounding meditation video. It only takes like 5 minutes. You don't even have to listen to the whole video. I think I go into a little bit of an explanation at the beginning. Skip ahead and go right to the grounding meditation. It's simple, it's easy. You can do it in 5 minutes, and it so clears out the cobwebs. And I think it's the number 2 thing, really, in getting back in touch with your intuition, is being fully present in your body in this moment. So that's number 2. Number 3, I know you hear this all the time: walk in nature, walk in nature, walk in nature. Okay, I walked in nature. I went in my backyard, I walked around. Not quite like that. When I say walk in nature, I mean a mindful walk in nature. What does that mean? What I mean is really be present and like with your surroundings, with the sounds you hear. Like, your mind might be going in the beginning, okay, that's nice, mind, thanks for checking in. I'm gonna see what do I hear other than, the usual things, like besides my mind, blah, blah, blah. You can hear that anytime. Maybe if you really pay more attention and get fully present, you might hear your very soft footfalls on the dirt or pavement that you're walking on. You might hear an airplane in the distance, far, far off, and you might not have noticed that without being mindful in that moment. You might hear the rustling of the leaves from wind. There's a million, you might hear little birds or the sound of bugs. There's a million things you could hear, but get really present and see if you can hear things further out away from you. So being really present. I also, when I do a walk in nature, I really notice the plants, the fauna and, I always forget, fauna and flora. Yeah, fauna and flora, especially the flora, because fauna probably will run away. You know, the squirrels and the deer and whatever, and who knows if you're in an area that even has that. But I pay attention to the plants and the trees and things when I'm on a mindful walk. For instance, have you really looked closely at a flower and just like wondered at its beauty? Like if you look at any flower, it doesn't matter, it could be a daisy, but if you get really interested in it and really look at it closely, like close up, and it doesn't mean you have to pick it. You can if you want, and if it's not in somebody's yard, but you know, like if you look really closely at flowers, there's a sparkle to their leaves, like to their petals, and there's veins, and there's all these different subtle colors. Like just thinking about it is almost bringing me to tears, because it's just a wonder. Come here, Bubba, that's just a neighbor. If you look really carefully at the leaves of a flower, they're wondrous. I look at them and I wonder, how did the universe, the pure awareness, consciousness of God come up with so many colors, and how does the DNA know to make this color purple here and yellow here and orange here and this shape and that shape, and the leaves turn just like this. I just looked at an iris the other day, and like if you really get interested and take a minute to fully take it in, they're wondrous. Tree bark is wondrous. Tree leaves are wondrous. Like it's just wondrous. So if you're gonna do a walk, make sure it's 15 to 30 minutes and really be present and mindful. Don't walk as if you just want to check something off your calendar, off your to-do list. It's really another even deeper grounding. And also, when you do it in this mindful way, it brings in awe and gratitude, and that's a big step towards getting in touch with your higher self. Gratitude is like the gateway. Okay. Then the fourth thing I recommend is meditation. Now, I just want to say a little note. There's a million ways to meditate, and often 90% of the people I talk to, when they talk about doing meditation, they're like trying to quiet their mind. No, erase, delete that button, delete that idea. Because what is the first thing that happens when you say to anyone, don't think about a lollipop? Boink, lollipop in the brain, and that's all you can think about. So if you tell the mind, I want you to be quiet, or if you were sitting there trying to quiet the mind is going to get more active than it ever has in your entire life. Don't try to quiet the mind, let the mind go. Watch it. Don't try to do anything with it. Just watch it. Do your best to use your attention and your attention and intention to just watch it. If you catch yourself following the thoughts down the rabbit hole of, oh, I forgot to do the dishes, oh my God, that reminds me of Aunt Bessie and the check I forgot to write her. If you start to go down that rabbit hole, the second you catch yourself, just take another deep breath. Oh, I went down the rabbit hole. I really followed those thoughts. And just watch them, almost like clouds through the sky. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I just had another one. There's another one is a thought. Oh. And you may find, and you may not find that the spaces between the thoughts get 0.5 millimeter of a second longer. Maybe not, and that's okay. Because just watching your thoughts already separates you from them. And it will give you that space of I am not the thoughts. They just appear. They're not even your own thoughts, really. We all walk around thinking, these are my thoughts. This is, so it's true. Pardon me. No, they're thoughts that arise, but that doesn't mean they're true. Number one, I don't know about your thoughts, but my thoughts are wrong a lot, most of the time. I'll give you a perfect example. Have you ever thought, oh, my friend Betsy didn't call, or John didn't call me, that means XYZ? Or especially when I used to have a very unhealthy attachment style. I think it's called, I can't think of the word for it. Insecure attachment style. If I was dating somebody and they didn't call me for 2 days, oh my God, we're breaking up. Oh my God. Oh, he doesn't care about me. Oh, we're breaking up. Oh, that last thing I said, that was it. And then he calls like 10 minutes later and everything's fine. Totally made up story in my head. So I bet you have an example, like maybe not quite like that. I exaggerated just a little bit. You know what I mean? Hopefully you do not have an example like that. I do not wish that on anybody. But I bet you have an example where XYZ happened and you decided it meant ABC and it turned out to not be at all of that. So just know your thoughts are not true. They're not even really they're just arising. So just watch them. That's my highest recommendation for meditation. And start with 2 minutes. You can't sit for 5. Do 2. 2 minutes of watching your thoughts. That's all. And then the next time you sit, do 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be a big deal. And just doing that, you are successful. So take all of that out of meditation, right? If your mind gets busier, good on you. You did it right. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Just watch the monkey mind go. That's all you got to do. Okay. So that's number 4. And the 5th thing that I recommend is practice. You gotta give yourself the space to practice this. So once you start doing these things, like the mindful walk or practicing gratitude and maybe doing a little meditation and grounding, and you start feeling more back into yourself, then start using your intuition. Perfect example. You're leaving the house and the little tiny knowingness, or maybe it's like a voice similar to your thoughts, but there's something slightly different about it. But anyway, little voice says, grab the umbrella. And you're like, grab the umbrella? What the? It's sunny out and there's no rain forecast. Grab the umbrella. Just listen to it, because the more you listen to that voice, the more it will show up, the louder it will get. You know, your intuition is like an amazing, beautiful flute in the background, maybe over in the corner of a big, huge stage. And on the front of the stage is a heavy metal rock band or rap or whatever to you is the loudest music possible, right? And that band is so loud, you can't possibly hear that tiny flute in the background. But the more you put your attention on it and the more you pay attention and listen to it, the more this quiets down and you do hear the flute. So give yourself the space, practice, trust when you get those messages of, like you're going to the bakery and the little voice inside your head says, instead of going straight, which that's where the bakery is, straight ahead, it says go right. Because maybe you're going to avoid an accident or a red light or whatever it is. Listen to that little voice, even if it seems kind of goofy. And if you don't listen to it, that's okay, because you're practicing. So give yourself a break, but do note it. Oh yeah, that was my voice. Okay, that's what it sounds like. Oh yeah. Because sometimes intuition doesn't seem linear or logical per se, but man, it'll never steer you wrong. That much I can guarantee. And the bonus tip that I promised is if after practicing and giving yourself time and being in gratitude, because gratitude is, in my opinion, the crack that allows grace in, and grace is where intuition flows. Like, I think grace is the energy that intuition flows through, on, in, around. But anyway, if you're doing all of these things and your intuition voice isn't getting any louder, like you haven't heard it at all, and you're not feeling at all like yourself still, then my final tip is to look at the shadow side. Like, is not being in touch with your intuition serving you in some way? Do you get to play victim? The ego loves that. And guess what? We've all got an ego. All of our egos are pretty much the same. It likes to win, dominate, be right, play victim, woe is me. All the manipulative things, right? All the shadow things. It's just trying to protect us. So if none of this works, and if everything you've done and you're still feeling lost, and you really believe your intention to get better is in for you, in working, then ask yourself, is not being in touch with my intuition serving me in some way? And then handle that. Because that's anytime something hasn't worked for me, it's been that. It's been serving me in some secret way. This one YouTuber that I watch sometimes talks about it being the juice, like the ego juice. And Dr. Hawkins talks about, what does he call it? Not the ego fix. He has another term that's similar to that. It's like the ego gets juice from doing the manipulative things it does. We all do it. So don't feel bad. Don't blame yourself. Just check out what's happening. And, if something like that is going on, handle it without self-judgment, without self-recrimination. All egos are about the same. There's nothing wrong with you that you have an ego. Guess what? You're human. It's all good. So thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. That's the way it grows. I really appreciate it. I love your comments. Keep them coming. And I, from the bottom of my heart, wish you a full, wonderful connection with your higher true self. And until next time.